It's grind time! Welcome to Grind Time's first ever 5-star prediction video. That's right, because you demanded it, because my audience asked for it. I made a 5-star prediction video. Just kidding. No one asked for this. I just did it. I was feeling left out. All the other YouTubers do it, so I decided to. If you like the content you're seeing here, please like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and share with your friends. Also, please leave your thoughts and or predictions in the comments below. Tell me why I'm right, tell me why I'm wrong, or, just say what you want. Okay, first my guarantee. That's right, with this prediction video comes a guarantee. And my guarantee is this. If everything I say in this video and all the picks I make, I guarantee you anywhere from 0 to 5 of the picks will be correct. You heard it here, folks. I guarantee somewhere between 0 and 5 of my picks will be correct. Boom! Take it to the bank. Yeah, I spent way too much time making this video. Okay, now, with even less assuredness than your local weatherman, let's dive into the selections. I tackled my selections in sections, dividing the bots into their respective classes, eliminating the bots that are already 5 stars, and going from there. But grind time, what bots are already 5 stars and what are their classes? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's take a look at it and go over those bots real quick and kind of look at a history of what has been chosen per legacy. So on the far left, you'll see Legacy 1. These were the first 5 stars that were released. In case you don't know, every release of 5-star bots has 5 bots in them. So in the first one, we had Grimlock, we had Silverbolt, we had Gnaw, we had Hot Rod, and we had Sunstreaker. Grimlock being a special class, Silverbolt being an air class, Gnaw being a special class, Hot Rod special class, Sunstreaker gunner class. So if you look at the right underneath those, that means air class had 1 selection, gunner class had 1 selection. There were no medics in that class. There were 3 specials. I don't even think triple changers were out at that time, and there were no bots from the warrior class selected. And you might be wondering why Silverbolt is in bold and has an asterisk. Well, we'll get to that. If you look at Legacy 2, we have Optimus, Wheeljack, Skyburst, Drift, Windblade. You can see the tallies underneath there. Air, this time had no selections. Gunner, no selection. 1 medic, 3 from the special class again. Still no triples. I'm not sure if they were out at that time. And then 1 from the warrior class. Legacy 3. We came out with 1 airbot, 1 gunner, no medics, 2 specials, 1 triple changer, no warriors. And you can see all the way through to the end of Legacy 6. The total selections were 2 airbots, 4 gunners, 3 medics, 14 from the special class, 2 of the triple changers, and 5 from the warrior class. Now let's begin with the warrior class. There are 9 eligible warrior class characters, so let's take a look at them. First, Nose Cone is too new, so I think it's okay to go ahead and take him out. Second, I think Dinobot is probably too new as well, so we'll go ahead and take him off the table too. Next, I think we can take Jumpstream off the table. I feel her ability is too similar to Hotspot, who's already a 5-star. With that said, Pipes falls under the same reasoning, so let's take him off the table as well. I think it's also safe to assume Pyromagna will not be chosen, and Slug's ability is just very similar to hers. And that brings us to our final 3. Let's take a look at them. First, let's look at Rook. Rook is the newest of the 3 and already a really good bot. Because of how new he is and the fact that he's already very useful, I don't think he will be selected. That leaves us with Inferno and Sideswipe. Inferno seems to be the bot being chosen by most of the players in chats, but Sideswipe is already a 5-star on the China server. If Sideswipe were made into a 5-star on Global, I'm sure they would give him some sort of buff. But I don't think that's going to happen this time. I think Inferno is the pick for the warrior class. That gives us our first of our 5 bots for this pick, and now let's look at the special class. There are 13 eligible bots in the special class, so let's knock some of these out pretty quickly. Bots that are too powerful to be made into 5 stars, the ones everyone already knows: Star Saber, Slash, Sentius Magnus. And I think Red Alert is too new at this time, so let's take these 4 off the board to begin with. Next to go is Hound Vamp. Honestly, my only reasoning for this, and any of the G.I. Joe related characters, is something to do with licensing from Hasbro. There's a G.I. Joe mobile game now, and who knows? I don't know. That's just what I was thinking. But Hound Vamp could certainly use a buff. So now we are down to 8. First to go will be Huffer. Poor Huffer. I think there is great potential with him, but not this round. Bye bye, Huffer. Next to go will be Streetwise. I know he recently got somewhat of a buff, but I don't think he'll see the 5-star treatment this round. And now we're down to 6. Impactor doesn't make the cut this round either, I'm afraid. No real reason, just don't think he's going to make it. Kind of the same with Laser Optimus or Shoulder Pads Prime. I feel he needs some work. His ability needs to only target defenses, or at least stay off the walls, and it's too expensive and slow to use. And that brings us to our final 4. Even though he's one of my favorite bots in the game, I don't think Cup makes it this round either. It wasn't too long ago he was deemed maybe too powerful to be a 5-star, but with HQ17 he just isn't the game changer he once was. He does tell great stories though. And that brings us to the final 3. Punch. Punch. At the time of this video, I believe he's about to be buffed. The playtesters are, I believe, reevaluating him, and I'm sure they'll fix him. I'm sure he will be made much better soon, but not in time for this batch. Bye-bye, Punch. And that'll bring us down to the final 2. Bumblebee and Rhinox. Both of these bots are good. Bumblebee can be a huge help with his EMP bombs, and Rhinox is able to vine up defenses. Either one of these 2 bots would be a great 5-star, but I have to choose one. See you next batch, Rhinox. I think Bumblebee will make a great 5-star, and he is, of course, a fan favorite bot. So now we have 2 of the 5 new 5-star bots. Now let's look at the air class. Here we have 14 eligible bots, and with HQ17 and combat bots, the air class bots have made a huge comeback. A one-shot air bot is considered by many of the top players to be essential for HQ17 wars. Let's look at the bots. Right off the top, I'm going to say Brainstorm and Strafe are 2 new, so we will take them out. Next, we're going to remove Jetfire Sky Striker for the same reason we removed Hound Vamp. I think there's something to do with licensing. Next, we're going to take out Air Raid, Blades, Cosmos, and Cybertron Jetfire. The whole top row, simply because, well, I'm just not feeling it. I don't think any of them are going to make it. The same with Powerglide, another bot that I think with a little bit of work could be a great bot, by the way. And that brings us to our final 6. Skydive is the first one to go, followed by Tigerhawk. No real reason, just what I think. That brings us to the final 4. The first to go out of the final 4 is Jetfire. Although I feel Jetfire, or mainly as his Decepticon counterpart Starscream, is due for the 5-star treatment, I just don't think they get it this round. That brings us to the final 3, Stormclash, Swoop, and Trax. A lot of people are calling for Trax to make it this round, but I just don't think it's his time right now. I think Trax goes, and that brings us to the final 2. Who will get the nod? Stormclash does the most damage to a single target of all the jets, and Swoop was once a game-changing bot. Swoop was one of the original power leveling bots. So who do I think gets the win? Both. That's right. I think we get not 1, but 2 air class bots this batch, and that gives us 4 out of our 5 new 5-star bots. Next is Triple Changers. Only 1 left. Skylynx, or if you're a con, it's Blitzwing. I don't think it's going to happen this time for either of them. And since all the medics are already 5 stars, that brings us to our final class, the Gunner class. We have 8 eligible bots in the Gunner class, but there can only be 1. A bot that is easy to remove is 6-gun. Too new, maybe too powerful. I love 6-gun. Next to go is Alpha Bravo. Just not enough to set him apart from the current 5-star bots. Sea Spray is kind of the same way, and I think he goes next. Although I do think a power core for Sea Spray that causes him to attack along the course of his tornado, following in its wake while the defenses are stunned, would be a great idea and help him out a lot. Sadly, I don't think it happens this time. Our next bot to fall is one that tends to die about as much as Optimus Prime himself, Cliff Jumper. Cliffy is due for a buff to make him relevant again, but I don't think it comes through this time. And that brings us to the final 4 of the Gunner class. While I think Smokescreen can make a very intriguing 5-star bot, I don't think he makes it this time, although I wouldn't be disappointed if he does. And that brings us down to the final 3. Of these 3, I believe Hound is out. Although, if I'm wrong, I would not be upset again. I think his ability, given the right amount of damage, could be great with that range. But that brings us down to the final 2. Now looking at these 2 bots, I know a lot of you don't think you would be happy with either one. Both of them need a buff to make them relevant again, don't get me wrong. And I think the bot that gets the 5-star treatment will get a great buff. Remember the beginning of the video when we saw some of the already released 5-star bots in bold and with an asterisk? If we go back and look at those bots again, I think you will see a trend. I might be wrong, but I believe that each of those bots were made a 5-star. When each of those bots were made a 5-star, they were considered duds. Why would anyone want that bot as a 5-star? I remember pulling Cheetor nearly rage throwing my phone. But then came the buff. Now he's one of the best bots. Same with Silverbolt. Same with each and every one of the boldface bots. Initially considered duds, but eventually buffed and chased. And that's what I think is going to happen to this 5-star gunner. And my pick is Dust Up. Surprise! That's right, this is my most far-fetched pick. She is almost useless right now, but I think she will be given a buff and her 13 rockets will become deadly and players will chase her. So there you have it. Grind Time's first ever 5-star batch predictions, including one surprise pick. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Who are your picks? Please be sure to like and subscribe and share with your friends. And remember, these picks come with my guarantee. That's right, I guarantee either all of them, none of them, or any combination in between will be selected as the next 5-star batch. Thanks for watching, everyone. Till all are one.